Who's the better parent? Is it the mother? Is it the father? Okay, I prefer a two-parent home, but if you can't have a two-parent home, then who is the better parent to have the children? Well, we know how the women feel. The women feel like the children automatically should be under their care, and you're just a man, and you come in and you get your part when you get it, if I allow it. Okay. It is treacherous out there, y'all. That's why I tell y'all, don't go out here dating and then having kids on top of kids. Okay. You end up having a son. Okay. You don't want to do that. All right. So, anyway, it says statistically, one of the reasons why the men are better is because the children end up having more emotional understanding, emotional intelligence, and emotional control. And the children end up being more disciplined. The children end up graduating high school and going on to college as dad encourages it, because dad is able to show the children in a practical way, logically, what the world actually is and how the world actually works. Because at the end of the day, the world is a logical place. You can touch it. Now, that doesn't say that women are not able to do just as great or even better. It doesn't say that. And so that's why I'm looking into it, because I feel like, first time I said feel, but I feel as if there is a dynamic that takes place depending on the age of the child. So when the child is between newborn and 12 years of age, let's say this is a boy, that boy is going to be under his mother. Why? Because she's going to nurture him. She's going to raise him. She's going to instill certain values in him. If she is a mother that is focused on her children becoming successful men and women, she's going to take the time out to make them successful. She's going to read books with him. She's going to answer his questions. She's going to explain things to him. And as a result, he's going to get all of that love and all of the nurturing from his mother. And he's going to know exactly what woman he's looking for when he's looking. He's going to know exactly what a real woman is. He's going to understand what, different women bring versus other women. And that would help him to be able to navigate the world and to have understanding, and also to be able to respect women and not treat them as objects. So it's important for a boy to be around his mother, because again, his mother is his first love. And then he's probably going to look for a woman who has those same qualities, of course. Same thing with a female. It's good for her to be around both parents, because she's going to need the nurturing from her mother, just like the boy would. However, her father is going to be very protective of her. And so she's going to know what that love feels like as well. So she's going to be able to have understanding to what a man actually is. And especially if the father is one of those hands-on fathers who want to teach their kids values. And that is exactly what she needs, because she has to go out into the real world. And there are going to be a lot of people out here using manipulation tactics and people out here trying to get her to do things that she doesn't need to do to deter her in the wrong direction. So he's going to do that. And that's what he's supposed to do. And as she gets older, he definitely will be ready to protect her at any given time. He will make sure that she's good, because he does not want her to need anybody else, because when you need people, sometimes they take advantage of you. That's exactly what the father's going to do. Now, when it comes to the son, like I said, when he gets older, of course, he should go and live with his father then, because his father can teach him how to become a man. His father can teach him integrity. He can teach him loyalty. He can teach him respect. He can teach him financial literacy. He can teach him how to bring up a family. He can teach him how to look for the proper women in order to create a family with. Okay. And when I say women, I'm just saying that there are more than one, there's more than one woman out here, obviously. Because, somebody will be like, yeah, man, you used the wrong word. That I had that happen to me the other day. So you know how people are. But anyway, who cares? So I say all this to say that, yes, on statistics, a father may be the better parent for a lot of reasons. And some of those reasons are financial reasons. Some of those reasons are societal reasons, and some of them are just personal issues. And that's where I said, because a lot of the times women don't have any time to themselves, and, they get emotionally drained, and then they kind of just check out. You ever been to a young lady's house, especially when you were coming up, and she has 2 or 3 children, and the little children are just running around, tearing up shit, jumping all on the couch, and all different types of stuff, jumping all on you, and you looking like, why are you jumping on me? I don't even know you, young man. But yet, it's like she doesn't have a care in the world. Yes, she loves the children, but she's probably kind of checked out because she doesn't have time to herself. When it comes to men may be checked out, but men are still always on go. Men are always on duty. So that's why I said there's a lot of different variants and a lot of different things that contribute to that. It's not just because the father is a male that he's better suited for this. No, that doesn't say anything. It just says that fathers pay more attention, or willing to put in more of the time, okay, and willing to protect and willing to discipline and love and nurture all at the same time. Okay, and without making the children feel like they are a burden. Because sometimes females do that. They'll say, oh, y'all should be grateful because I really didn't even want to do nothing for you. Different things like that. And that's a whole different dynamic, because when you have a relationships with your mother like that, where, she just talks to you bad and everything else, that's not a good relationship. And they need a lot of counseling and a lot of help. Some people would say, oh, it's no big deal. She loves her son and he knows it. Yeah, but sometimes when you say certain things and you're not saying that you love him often, then, he may start to think something different. And that's vice versa. That's with any child. We seen, what was that? Boosie. Shout out to Boosie, of course. So we seen Boosie had that whole run-in with his daughter, where she was seemingly being ungrateful and disrespectful. And part of that probably came from her mother doing the exact same thing. And that's exactly what I'm saying. It's the example that you set that's going to determine whether or not your children are going to be successful in life, period. I'm telling you, tell me one child who was a complete menace to society and he ended up having a successful life thus far. He completely turned his life all the way around. There is not one. And you know why I would say that? Because once a menace to society, that's who you are. It's your personality. There are certain things about you that you just can't change. But what I will say is, show me an individual who hasn't done anything like that. An individual that was raised with a 2-parent family, or an individual that had parents that co-parented well, meaning they set standards, meaning if the mother said no, then the answer is no. You don't run to the father and try to pit them together. You don't do that, or pit them at one another. So you have to be able to establish, the rules and establish how you're going to raise your children. And they will respect it. And they'll respect it simply because you're doing exactly what it is you're supposed to do. Okay, it's almost as if everything is streamlined for you. And they see the effort and they see, the hustle. And the children love you for it. But like I said, at the end of the day, them saying that men are the better option is based off of specific things, specific variants. And that's the reason why men may be the better option. Not because they are men, but because men view the world and navigate the world and deal with everything and everybody totally different from women. And so I would say that largely contributes to why men are probably the better option when it comes to circumstances like that. Again, does that say that women can't do the same thing? No, because obviously there are a lot of women who have done it. Okay. I was blessed myself to live in a home where I at the least had a stepfather. I knew my father, but I wasn't around my father for a long, long, long time. And I did have my stepfather, and my stepfather was always there for me. Okay. And even though he was militant and he did things that seemed very, very, very militant, almost as if he had zero personality when he said what he said, those things right there kind of threw me for a loop. But as I got to know him, I started to understand his position. This man had children with my mother. Then he had children outside of that. So that were like my age or older. So you have to understand that this guy was nonsense, but because he was like that, it gave me a lot of understanding and insight. And then when I got older, I was able to learn to be stern when I am being a disciplinary, and at the same time to learn to be very, very, very gentle when I'm talking to my daughter, or to be very, very, very respectful and understanding when I'm talking to my son. So, in my opinion, does it say that? No, it doesn't. But that's what the statistics say. Who knows? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment. All right. And remember to subscribe to @Red Spot Podcast on all platforms. Okay. And I want you to make sure that you hit that subscribe button for me. Okay. Because that's important. Because like I said, we're trying to get the channel up and going so we can be able to help some people. And that's the goal over here. It's not to monetize, but it's to make things work the way that they should work. Anyway, Sunchild Beats, Red Spot Podcast. I'm going to salute y'all and y'all be easy. Yep.